Y'all excuse me, this is just where I am. Sometimes I feel like a nut. Sometimes I ever play tricks on you. You need clarity. You got to clear that up. Anybody remember the old TV, the rabbit is? Yep. Fuzzy screen? Yep. Difficult. Very difficult. You didn't see kids locked in on that screen because it wasn't clear. But when you get clarity, man, people lock in. You can lock in with clear vision. And so I'm going to talk about this a lot tonight. Clarity, you want to write this down. It's not in your book. Clarity is your friend. Clarity is your friend. And when you don't have clarity, you can't move fast. You ever been caught in a foggy night and the vision is not clear? First thing you have to do is slow down and not drive as fast, right? You ever went on vacation or been at someone else's house and you were spending the night at someone else's house and you got up in the middle of the night and you had to go to the restroom, but the lights wouldn't, you didn't know, you weren't familiar with the territory. You can't move too fast in that. Does this make sense? Yes. And so clarity is your friend. You got to have clear vision, and you have to, that's where vision coaching comes in. It is designed to help you have clear vision of who you are, where you're going, and how you're going to get there. Huh? Now, so self-idea needs clarity. Your self-image is an inner mirror. And it is an inner mirror, and it allows you to, it's how, it reflects who you are. It's sort of how you see yourself. Does this make sense? Well, if the clarity is messed up, I'm already going to look at myself not quite as clear as it should be. Does that make sense? And the problem is, whatever I see in that inner mirror dictates my behavior. All right? And so if I want to change my behavior, then I have to change the image. If I'm going to change the image, I want to make sure it's clear what I'm changing. Does this make sense? And so when you pull all that together, it gives you a clear image. Now I can move forward a little more aggressive than I was before. Last one is self-esteem. Your self-esteem is really how much you like yourself. And you have to determine how much do you like yourself. And what you don't like, you don't have to put up with. If it's something about you don't like, you ain't got to put up with it. You have the opportunity to change it. Now, this is important. So we've talked about who you are. We've answered that question. Let's look on page 6 now. What do you love to do? What do you love to do? If I was answering that question, I would say I love to build people of purpose. I love to add value to their life. I love to help people discover and write vision. Those are things I love to do. And you know what's amazing? I can't cut it off. I go on trips and I say I ain't gonna talk to nobody. It just starts coming out. Next thing you know, I'm on a plane and I wasn't gonna say to nobody. I'm in deep conversation. You understand? You have to know what you love to do, because when you love to do something, it creates a passion and you'll do it more effectively, more better, and you'll be healthier through the process of doing it. Okay? So answer that question. What do you love to do? You can write anything in there, whatever your imagination can think of. Put something in there though. What do you love to do? 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 If your work life, career, or idea, what would they look like? Wow. See, this is what should work for you, because, typically what we want, we probably can't afford it today. But let me say that another way. You can't afford not to do it. You can't afford not to do it. So what do you love to do? All right? What once you discover what you love to do and you wrote something there, once you looked at if your work life and career were ideal, what would it look like? Don't be afraid to put numbers in there too. You want to make a lot of money, put it in there. You know what I'm saying? Man, just put it in there. Because if you let the devil fill it in, he's going to put minimum wage on it. And then he's going to try to steal that. All right? So fill that in. And this next question here, it says, what one discipline could you develop that would help you to achieve? Wow. So this is what I'm desiring, this is what I'm wanting. What's one, you ain't got to try to change 10 things. Just identify one discipline that you could develop that would help you achieve. We'll get in more depth about that in our next session. One of the things we'll talk about is the different types of disciplines. Let me just plug this in right now. Any area in your life where there's lack is typically the result of self-discipline. If I'm lacking money, it's because of self-discipline. If I'm lacking friends, self-discipline. If I'm lacking ideas, it's a result of my lack of self-discipline. So when you don't have self-discipline in place, it causes lack in every other area in your life. Huh? So, try to identify a discipline. You can't come up with one now, but just don't leave that blank, because that's the initiating, that's the starting process. The next question now, the third question is, once you have identified who you are, you put your name there. Once you identify what you love to do, this third question is, who do you do it for? Who do you want to do it for? Who are the people that you desire to serve? Who do you want to do? What type of people are you looking to reach? Who do you do it for? Who do you desire to do it for? Identify that. If I was to answer that question, mine would be, it deals with groups, it deals with church groups, it deals with corporations, it deals with young men, especially young men of color. I love mentoring, serving young African American brothers, because I love to see them succeed. Nothing gets me so excited than to see a young man take off. Nothing gets me more excited than to see a young man take off. And so this is important. And as a matter of fact, I got a young man that's going to come up and share in just a few minutes. Once I finish the fifth question, he's going to come up and share just a testimony, just so you can understand the power, the impact of mentoring, the power, the impact of coaching. Because the reality is, you can get much farther down the road when you got somebody helping you out. It's nothing like having somebody pull your coat and say, hey, man. I was sitting over here observing, and you might want to try it this way. So who do you do it for? Who do you desire to do it for? List 3 ways you could improve your customer service to ensure customers buy from you again and tell their friends. We wanted to try to make you guys, when y'all came out to us tonight, and anybody else that comes, we want to make sure that we was really wanting you to be here now. And I think that's important. Customer service is one of the most amazing things, and it's one of the areas that's oftentimes abused a lot and not maximized as it should be. What one quality would you like people to think of when your name is mentioned? And what could you do to ensure this happens? Please list the quality. If you don't even talk about what you're going to do, what's one thing? What is one quality? What one quality would you like people to think of when your name is mentioned? And what ensure this happens? Page 8 now talks about, this is the fourth question. So we have talked about who are you, who you are, what do you love to do. We have also talked about who you desire to do it for. This fourth question is important. Uh, what do people really want to need? I got a funny story about this. It's a true story. You know, me and my wife been married for about 30 years. And we first got married, man, I love breakfast in bed. Me. I love breakfast. Yeah, I love breakfast in bed.
Drinking it is okay.
And I'm talking about some grits, eggs, you understand? I love some hot biscuits, man, with some jelly. I mean, if you're going to do it. When I first got married, Kevin, one of the things I do, you know, what I love, you know, every anniversary, I do her breakfast in bed. She sleep, trying to wake her up, eat the breakfast. And I found out about 10 years later that she ain't like to be wake up in the morning. I was faithful, you understand? I found out that something said, she don't like to be woke up in the morning. Maybe I was trying to do it to get a hint, my anniversary coming, your anniversary, maybe, My point is, you need to make sure what you're offering people really want. And they really need it. This is important. Identify that, because if you're providing a service and it's not what they really want to need, you're wasting time. Huh? And so you got to answer that question. What do people really, when you look at what you love to do, the folk that really want it. Huh? I love doing what I'm doing right now. I love it. And I be sharing with folk, but sometimes they don't want it. I keep sharing anyway. Waste of time. Make folk mad. All right? So, and then the last question is, what's the significant change? What's the significant change that takes place in their life, in the people's life that you're serving, when you do what you love to do for the people that you do it for? What's the significant change? Now, I can answer all these questions myself personally without a script. I don't need a script, because it's in me. It's what I do. I've identified, I've written it down. It's part of my mission. That's what I live. Matter of fact, when I get up to do this every day. All right? And knowing that is important. And we all like to study the Disney World model, because what is the mission statement of Disney World? What's the mission statement? What's the mission statement? I've never seen it written. Just to let you know, I've never seen it written. What's the mission statement?
I don't know about this. It's got something to do with people and service.
It's to make people happy. Now, this is interesting. Ain't nobody don't want to be made happy. Why do you think he doing so well? He dead and gone, still doing well. So let's say you got a person that's sweeping. Their job is to sweep and pick up paper. What's his mission statement?
Be the best sweeper.
He should be the best sweeper? Wait a minute, who said something?
I said still to make people
To make people happy. His mission is not to sweep. His mission is to make people happy. Let me give you the picture. So let's say an old couple comes down, and they come, somebody name some of them little lands they go through to been to Disney. Come on, help me out.
Epcot, Magic Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom, Little People Land, that type of thing.
It's a small world.
It's a small world. Thank you so much. It's a small world. And a couple comes through and they say, and the sweeper sweeping, and they say, we're looking for a small world. Now, the sweeper has a choice. He could either say, well, you go down through Epcot Center and hang a left, and then you go through this park, and you're going to walk up on. Is that going to make him happy?
No.
So what he does, because he knows his purpose, he lays the broom down And he says, come on, I'll take you. And he walks with them, takes them all the way. Now check this out. While he's gone, and he's gone for about an hour, his supervisor shows up on the scene. He said, I wonder where Billy is. There's paper on the ground. What do you think the supervisor do?
Pick it up.
He picks it up. Because paper being all over the place is not going to make folk happy. An hour later, Billy comes back and the supervisor sees him. He says, hey, Billy, where you been? He says, well, there was a couple that came through and they need to get to a small world, and I took them down. Great job, Billy. Now, you know what we would do. Come on. I ain't picking up the paper and setting up this, picking up this paper. Where you been? Now, why you just tell me you have to walk way down?
Yeah,
See?
yeah.
Don't know their purpose. When people don't know their purpose, they fuss. Write that down. When they don't know their purpose, they fuss. They argue, they complain. Because they don't have meaning in their life. When you don't have meaning in your life, it makes things very aggravating, and it gets difficult to have a smiling face and to be happy. Because what really makes you happy is when you have meaning. This makes sense? What really makes you happy is when you don't have meaning, man, that's frustrating. Go on a job and they don't tell you what you're supposed to do. And you got to figure it out, and you don't have no meaning, and there's nothing, no substance there that gets you to buy in, and any fulfillment that takes place. Life is tough. So you have to identify. So Disney now, if you was asked Mr. Walt Disney and say, you know, man, who are you? He said, man, I'm Walt Disney. What do you love to do? I love to make people happy. I design, hire engineers, and pay them all kind of money to build something just to make people happy. Third question, who you do it for? Man, I do it for families from all around the world. What do they really want to need? Man, life is tough out here. Folk need a place to come where they can just let their head out and just enjoy life. What's the significant change? Man, I create memories that never go away. I make everybody's photo album. Y'all got that?
Yes.
So you have to know those 5 questions to be successful. Ask Jesus Christ, Jesus, who are you? He says, man, I'm the bread of life. I'm the Son of the living God. What do you love to do? I love helping save folk that can't save themselves. Who you do it for? The sinners. You know they need help. What they really want to need? They need somebody. They're sheep without a shepherd. They need direction. They need instructions. They need to reestablish their relationship with God. What's the significant change? Man, they get eternal life. Let's bring it home. Pastor Smyer, what do you do? My name is Pastor Smyer. I love to build people's purpose, add value to their life. And I really like helping people discover their identity, their role, their assignment, their cause. Who do you do it for? Man, I do it for all types of people. I do it for groups, do it for organizations. I do it for young men of color. That's my favorite. Because I feel like if we can get them on track, they can change society quicker than anybody because they get to play the highest. They serve in the highest role in the land, a father. What they really want to need, they need direction. They need somebody to come alongside and encourage them and coach them. What's the significant change? Man, by changing their life, they can change the whole world. They change their families. Little daughters will be happy. Little sons will be happy. Little boys will be happy because when daddy is doing what he needs to do. Make sense? Mm-hmm. So that's the concept. Now, At this time, I want to bring up a young man, met him some years ago. I don't know how long it's been, probably about 2, 3, 4, 5 years.